higher up to universities, the South African Students' Congress, SASCO, has vowed to shut down the University of South Africa, UNISA, because some students have been turned away from registration. Challenges as well regarding NSFAS, the National Aid Scheme. And we know that there's been a strike at UNISA since last Thursday. Many campuses shut, students camping outside those campuses. Let's find out what's going on. I'm joined in studio by the Treasurer General of the South African Students' Congress, Tshepo Mohlomi. Thank you for being with us, Mr. Mohlomi. Please tell us firstly what the grievances are. It sounds quite a long list. It sounds like a long list.
No, thank you very much for having us as the South African Student Congress. I think many of our grievances that students are raising is on the basis of historical debts that they are having, but the other issues is on the basis of the students that are new in the system that can be accepted on the basis of qualifications that are offered by the university, not be registered by with the South African Qualifications Authority, and they would range from university to university. You would see that in other institutions it would be the issue of not allowing students to walk into institutions of higher learning.
But we're talking about UNISA now.
Yes. I would say that in University of South Africa, the current challenges that we're having a lot of qualifications that are not authorized by South African Qualifications Authority. We're having a problem also of historical debts of students. We're having a serious problem also of students not being allowed to register. Why do you need
qualifications to be a student? I'm just trying to understand what
the
issue is.
We're speaking about what students have been registered, registering across along these years. We would find out that there are many programs that have been rolling out in that university, but not necessarily meeting the criteria and not necessarily being registered with the qualifications authority.
So you mean UNISA is offering courses saying you'll be registered as a what? As an engineer, I don't know. But
for example,
but you can't get a job as an engineer.
But you can't because it is not registered. Actually,
so do you have a list of those exact courses that are problematic?
There are about yesterday the stats that we were given by the SRC. There were about 2 courses that had been recently being authorized by the Qualifications Authority, and we have been looking into it. We are still compiling a long list of those courses to ensure that when we speak to the media in South Africa, we speak from an informed point of view.
Okay, so is this enough to shut down UNISA? That's the claim. Is that correct? That's what you want to do?
We are saying that we are engaged in a right to learn campaign, and all institutions that are going to meet us with arrogance, with ensuring that they tamper with access of students, will be enough reason for us to close and shut down those institutions, because we cannot allow a situation whereby in the current South Africa, wherein we are saying that we've got at least 500,000 spaces by the stats that are were released by the minister today, but we still have institutions who are trying to block and gatekeep around about 250 to 300,000 students who have passed matric. It does not make sense, because the stats released by the minister today are a full proof that we've got spaces in institutions of higher learning, and we should stop being gatekeepers of education as South Africans.
So do you know exactly how many spaces UNISA has and how many spaces? Because what you're saying is UNISA is lying when it says we can't take on any more students, right?
We don't want to really narrow this issue down to UNISA. For example, there is a shutdown tomorrow looming in the University of the Free State, and there will be more in other campuses.
And what form will that take? So we know students were burning tires outside, I think, the UNISA Pietermaritzburg campus. What form will a shutdown take?
The form of shutdowns that would take, we as an organization, we're an organization that believes in engagements, and as soon as we are not heard by those who are entrusted by running our institutions, we will just choose a simple approach of ensuring that we shut down main gates up until our demands are met. We are not saying
you won't
that
let other students walk in effectively.
We are saying that students must come to institutions of higher learning. Some of us were products of walk-ins who are saying that the Department of Higher Education has clearly stipulated that it has plus minus 200,000 spaces for first years in institutions of higher learning, in universities in particular. And it has stated that it has more than 250 to 280,000 in TVET colleges. Now, we're saying that students who have passed matric this year are less than 350,000. Now, there are spaces. Let me tell you what is blocking access in our institutions.
I'm not sure. Let's just, because I remember there were about 800,000 students. There was a pass rate of 75%. 33% of those, I think, got bachelor passes. So are you talking about those with bachelor passes?
Well, I'm speaking about bachelor passes and diploma passes, because that is those are the ones who are eligible to entering institutions of higher learning like universities and TVET colleges. The main issue why we are having a blockage of access in this institution is on the basis of admission point scores that are really not necessary, that are really not standardized from institution to institution. The admission point scores in VETs and in Northwest universities are not the same, yet a lawyer or an engineer would practice in the very same field and in the very same space. Now, we're saying that those are the things that are blocking this access, when the minister today has released that there are the spaces, but we are hearing universities saying to us that we do not have the capacity of accepting
So they're lying
students.
again. They're lying when they say they're full. That's what the issue is here.
We are saying that they must scrap this.
Because we know, I just want to challenge you on this. The universities are frustrated. We know that there are more students than places. This is just a reality. Unfortunately, the universities cannot do nothing about it. A university was here the other day saying they could only take 1 in 10 applications. You said the minister said there are 200,000 places. That still doesn't equal the amount of bachelor passes, which is a third of 800,000.
We must be honest. It's just that I do not have my notes currently. The minister, when she was releasing the statement today, she says, if I'm not precise, it's 172,000 bachelor passes and 144, actually not 200 and something. But the combined NSC passes are less than the spaces that are there, that the university had planned for.
Yeah. Now, this is the exact opposite to what I've been hearing consistently, that there are more students than places. Now, if that is the reality, are you really going to, and it sounds like you don't have your facts all lined up, to be honest, are you really going to shut down institutions of higher learning? That'll affect other students wanting to get in.
These universities, we must be honest with ourselves. They are saying that there are no spaces, but they are saying that they are accepting walk-ins online. The people must apply online. If there are no spaces, why should people apply online? There are long queues there in Valley University of Technology in Vereeniging, where students have been applying. What are they applying for if they don't have spaces?
Online applications, what's the issue?
In the University of Johannesburg, they are saying that students must apply online. The University of Northwest has also promised to open up late applications. Why are they opening up late applications if there are no spaces in institutions of higher learning?
Is it not possible that some of the departments, some of the courses are full, but they have space in other courses? That's what they've told us. They will offer those courses that are still available to students, but it may not be your first choice.
That is why we are saying that no university in its own correct, actually its pseudo-correct mind has ever said that walk-ins are allowed. But year in, year out, students are working in these institutions of higher learning and finding the spaces that were always told that they are not there. That is why...
So who's allowing walk-ins? Because again and again, all the universities, well, several of them have told us they're not accepting walk-ins. Who's allowing walk-ins and overriding their online applications, which you are implying is unfair?
In VUT, for example, there were walk-ins who were being allowed yesterday. And for the mere fact that...
Is that a technology...
University of Technology.
Yeah.
For example, it does not necessarily mean that if I am saying that a student must apply online or a student must walk in. There is a fundamental difference. The reality of the matter is that the difference actually is that when, as UJ or whatever, you are blocking access to the poor of the poorest who can't really necessarily go
but
and
if there's
apply
a space
online.
problem, which everybody has acknowledged, everybody in education has acknowledged there's a space problem in our universities, what can the universities do? And why are you blocking access for other students, threatening to close down campuses, threatening education for students who have got a place?
We are actually assisting students to enter university or
So you think this will make a difference?
tertiary education. We are saying that we have been doing this campaign for I don't know how long, but for as long as this organization has existed, it has been doing this campaign. There are products of this campaign each and year in, year out. We are saying to universities, stop blocking access when you know that there are spaces. We understand that there are problems of stampedes and everything there, and there people have lost their lives. But we are saying that it does not necessarily mean that we must stop walk-ins. We must just find a better mechanism of ensuring that
we've got to end. Can I ask you next time to perhaps come with the names of students who are being blocked and any sort of proof that the universities are lying and that they can actually be accommodated, because you're not providing that. You're not providing us examples and proof that the universities are blocking them access.
We have cases all over South Africa. You can go to any of our campuses where we operate. You will find a stall of SASCO outside. You will find many cases of students that are not allowed to register from one reason to the other. And I don't think I can come and lie on national TV and say that the students that have been mobilized and shutting down these institutions are lying, that the universities do not want them to register. I don't think
I'm sure they're not lying, but I'm saying you're not providing proof that the universities are actively blocking them rather than just being full.
I think it is proof enough when universities have shut down.
We have to end it there. Thank you so much for explaining your side. It sounds like there could be more action at universities. We have seen a lot across UNISA campuses in KwaZulu-Natal. That was the Treasurer General at SASCO, Tshepo Mohlomi. Now, thousands of Eastern Cape pupils arrived for the opening of school